enjoy those moments, experience those things more than, just thinking about the numbers or thinking about, oh, it goes up, it goes down, that type of thing, because it'll take you on an emotional roller coaster. One minute you'll think you're doing great and things are getting better, and the next minute, it could get worse. And that's really hard to deal with. And it's really emotionally destabilizing, honestly. So it's better just to enjoy the moments and really, really have these precious moments with the people you love.
Don't need you. Tell me what I can and can't do. I'm in charge of what I feel. It's just a game I play for fun, but I already.
Hi, my name is Amy. Like, comment, and subscribe to Lux Media Studios. They are awesome.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Loving Your Life, Be Authentically You with me, Amy. I am so excited to have you here. Thank you for joining me for every episode that I've had. Thank you for the comments, the likes, the subscriptions, everything. It really means the world to me. And I hope that what I'm saying and I'm helping you through your journey of whatever you may be going through in life. It's all a journey and we are all in this together. So today is a very, very special episode. It's a very heart-wrenching episode as well, because this is something that we, even as a family, have not talked about much because it's not an easy subject for us to talk about. This is part 2 of my cancer journey, but I have beautiful special guests on, which are my beautiful children. We have John, who is 16, and we have Grace, my daughter, who's 18, which actually is True Istina, musical name. And if you liked the music at the beginning, that's her singing. So go check her out, which we'll talk more about. But today is a little bit about really what's been going on and what they went through in their eyes, in their perspective. Because for me, there wasn't much. I was just in the hospital. I was in the hospital for a month and a half. I was in pain. They all of a sudden just didn't see me. I don't think they really knew what was going on. I was talking to them, but couldn't even tell them really what was going on till I even knew really what was going on. So this is in their eyes. So first, I want to introduce you to my son, John, and I want him to just tell you, John, when mom was, well, you didn't really know what was going on. All of a sudden, mommy's in the hospital and you don't know what's going on. What were you thinking? What were you feeling? Did you have any ideas?
I was very just in a awful place. I was sad a lot of the time. I was crying. I missed you an absolute ton. And, yeah, it was really hard. I had no idea where you were at first. And then when you were actually home, it was just like the pain you felt like made me feel pain. And it was a tough time.
Do you remember, John, the first time you heard that mommy had stage 4 cancer?
I believe so, yeah. It was like a year ago or something now, and it was really hard to like to hear that, and I was like, oh my gosh. It was a lot.
So what were you thinking inside when you heard that?
Um, I was very sad, but I also felt hope. I knew you could get through it. I really, really knew it. I prayed for you and everything, and it was like, yeah, it was crazy, but I knew you would make it to where you are now and keep going from here, and yeah.
So how are you feeling now about everything with mommy?
I'm feeling a lot happier. I'm glad you're not in pain as much anymore, because there's one day like kind of recently, like a couple months ago, where I was just at school and just started breaking down because the night before you went back into having really bad pains at like night when you were laying down, and it was really scary.
So emotionally, how are you handling this? What do you think is helping you through this? Because I know that this was a shocker. It was a shocker for me. It was a shocker I was scared to tell you guys. I didn't want to say anything. I wanted to ignore it. It's not really here. I'm in my candy land. I wanted to ignore it and I couldn't ignore it. And I had to tell you. And I think the first time I really told you was on Mother's Day in the hospital when I got the surprise of you guys coming to visit me. And the first time I saw you from that moment. So from that moment, how have you been dealing with this emotionally?
There's three main things. Hope, prayer, manifestation. Well, four things: hope, prayer, manifestation, and what was the last? Sorry. I don't know. It was just sorry, I'm blanking. Well, it was mostly hope. I knew you could get through it, and yeah, it was mostly that, yeah.
Yeah. And there was someone that we had just talked about that had happened to from YouTube, one of your YouTube, the
Yeah.
ladies that you look at, right? How did that affect you, John?
That scenario, I don't know, it just kind of woke me up. I was like, this is a real thing and it's scary. Like all this. It was like a Minecraft YouTuber that I watched a lot, and he was one of the best in the world at the game that I personally love. And then seeing that him pass away at like an age of like 20 something was just, it was crazy. And I realized you have the exact same thing. And the fourth thing I was mentioning before was positivity. You have to stay positive about this whole thing. Or it will be a lot harder to handle. And yeah, I wanted to feel happy. When I felt happy, I like knew you can make it through this. And then finally when you started feeling happy, that made me really happy.
Mhm. I knew. I mean, I'm going to pull through. I'm going to make it. I'm going to fight through this, and we're going to make the moments last, the moments that we have, the moments that we're together. And I think in all, what do you think, John? It made our family stronger,
100%, yeah.
you know, more love, more caring, more every day is special. Every day is a gift and it's not something to take for granted.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so proud of you, Mom, for making it this far, and I know you'll go much farther than here.
Thank you. Thank you. So tell me, John, I want to know if what would you tell other children or families that, children, let's say that their parents are going through the same thing. What would you say to inspire them, to help them get through it, to give them that support?
I would say stay positive as much as you can, and don't be afraid to let your emotions out, because keeping them inside it's really mentally challenging. So just
Mhm.
let them all out.
Yeah. And that we'll get through it, right?
Yeah.
We'll get through it.
Just know that whatever your situation is, it will be resolved in the best way possible. And yeah.
Right. Do you still worry about it when I go to my doctor's appointments and I do all my treatments and things like that?
Yes, I do. Just seeing how many times you have to go, also how many vitamins you take constantly, it worries me. And yeah, it's crazy. But I'm trying to stay as positive as I can be, and continue to have my own life on top of caring about your life as well. So that's my main advice.
That's good. Well, I always want you to have your own life. I want you to have your friends. I want you to have your acting. I want you to do all of the stuff that you love to do because that is your journey. And I never want my journey to affect your journey because I love you and I always want the best for you.
I love you too, Mom. I want the best for you too.
I love you. All right. Is there anything else that you can think of that you would want to say to the people watching this today?
I will say that whatever situation you're going through, you're strong, your family is strong, and you can make it through this any way you can, and it'll work out. You can make it through this.
Very good. All right. Well, I love you, bud. So now we're going to go to my daughter, my 18-year-old daughter, 18. Oh my goodness. Okay. So Grace, True Istina. um, what, how was I want to hear your thoughts from the beginning what you were thinking when I was diagnosed and when you heard all of this.
In the beginning, wow, that was a long time ago. Okay. What part of it?
So let's say, because all of a sudden I'm here and I'm with my friends and I'm hiking and I'm all good. And then all of a sudden I got this pain and I'm in the urgent care, the ER, the hospital. And, we all know my ex-boyfriend who became my friend my my ex-boyfriend, who's my friend, who was my ex-boyfriend, actually became someone that actually took care of me. And all of a sudden I'm gone and I'm out of this whole thing. What was your thoughts on that?
Honestly, at first it was not that bad, just because you've had the bone tumor and like you've had things with your thyroid before and your pelvis and things like that. So it's not like this was the first like hospital visit that we've like seen, but after it was about a week, I started to get a little bit worried because I'm like, I knew the pain was, first of all, intense, extremely intense for you to go to the hospital, because I know you'd had the pain on and off before you actually went to the hospital. So when you did, I knew like that, it was pretty bad. It was enough where you couldn't walk anymore, you couldn't drive, you couldn't move. And that became a little bit scary, honestly. But like I said, because you had the bone tumor and you've had major like surgeries on that before and like that type of thing, at first it was just like, oh, this just could be another thing like that. This could just be another thing where they'll give her another trial medication, something like that, and it'll just do the same course as your bone tumor. So at first I'm like, okay, this is fine. But then I got kind of worried because you were gone for about a month, almost a month and a half. And you went to like two different hospitals and to the emergency. And like, then it became a little bit more scary. And then also because of COVID, like I was a minor, so I could not come see you. So that was also something I'm like, okay, what the heck is going on? Because I can't even see you. So it has to, first of all, be bad enough. And second of all, I have no idea what's going on because I can't be there to like understand anything or talk to doctors or anything like that. So I was kind of like in the dark and I'm just like, okay, I guess this is my new life. I don't know. Like at first it was hard, honestly, because like it went from like one day, like everything just being completely normal. And like I'd seen these like pains you were having like in your pelvis and stuff before, like it had happened, but it was never like lasting this long and it was never the severe. It was just like kind of came on and off. So like at first, like, it could just been like a muscle spasm or something like that. Like that's kind of what it seemed like until it became more serious.
Believing Before Seeing, a new bestseller by Candace Barr. Order your copy today.
Right. Do you remember the first time that you were told that I have stage 4 cancer?
It was the first time I saw you after you went to the hospital on Mother's Day. And I wasn't really told. I was kind of like, they think I might have this. So I'm like,
I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to put it into the world of, yes, this is what I have. I was ignoring it, but I wanted to just explain to you this is serious, but I didn't want to scare you too. And that was the hardest thing for me to do, was just not to do that. And so that was hard.
yeah, from what I saw, like I could tell that you didn't really want to fully accept it. And plus you and like two other people were the only people who knew. Like nobody else knew what was going on. I had no idea what was going on. We just known you'd been gone for like a month. For like, oh, it could be something internal. It could have been, your heart or your head or whatever. Like we really had no idea what was causing, first of all, the pain, if it was not from something else. But we also had no idea like what was happening or what your side effects were, if it was getting better or worse. Like we barely talked. I went to school, I came home, I took care of John, we ate dinner, and that was it. That was like life for 3 or 4 weeks.
It was. Yeah. And I remember you going back and forth, and you were still doing your own thing. You were still singing, you were doing your own thing. I was trying to keep you doing what you needed to do while I was doing tests and sleeping and in pain and all of that. But I really do remember Mother's Day. Mother's Day was so special to me, though. It was the most special Mother Day. So as I had said, my boyfriend prior, which became my ex-boyfriend, which was really my friend, which became someone that took care of me 24/7, as well as you guys. He really did. He stepped in when we had nobody. And I don't know how he did it, but he planned it for you guys to come and see me. And he brought the flowers and he brought, like, I don't even know. I didn't even know you guys were coming. I had no idea what was going on. They all of a sudden just took me down and I was like, oh, it was so beautiful to see you guys because I had missed you so much. And inside, I didn't know how much time I had. So when you saw me, what were you thinking?
The first time?
Mm-hmm.
Well, first of all, you looked very frail. Especially from like the 2 weeks before that I'd seen you, like you looked very different in comparison, especially because like your friend had just come before you were diagnosed and you were like out, just like you looked like you were normal then. So you looked very frail and also like, with the mask and everything, of course we all look more sick with the mask. Like
Sure.
honestly. So like I really couldn't tell in your face, but that definitely didn't help, that's for sure. But yeah, it was I remember it was he told us right before we went to the hospital. I think he picked us up from school and then I can't remember if we went and got flowers, something like that. And then we came and saw you for Mother's Day and we were told that day that we were going to be able to see you because like we hadn't seen you in like 2.5 weeks already and like we really had little to no contact because you had anytime we tried to call there was like a doctor coming in or a nurse coming in or something like that or a test to run or she has to go get this done or blood work or things like that. So we barely talked, especially with like my school schedule. So when we first saw you, at first it looked just kind of like you were just sick in the hospital, like you would like I said, it kind of just looked like what happened with your bone tumor before. It kind of looked like, you were just tired and stuff like that, which I mean that makes sense. You've been in the hospital for like 2 weeks, which is a very long time though, and that's like the one thing that's like putting the pieces together. But I think at first when you told me, I don't think I cried because I don't think I comprehended it yet. Honestly, I don't think I really realized because I think because you said I think maybe I have this. I'm like, okay, well I'm not gonna say you do. I'm not gonna cry over it if you maybe have this. So I'm like, why would I cry over that? It may or not be. And then I'm like, yeah, after 2 more weeks, I'm like, yeah, okay, this is more serious than I thought. And that's when I'm like, it's been a month already. And then finally when you came home, it was after a surgery. I can't remember which one. I think it was your thyroid surgery. Yeah, so you got your thyroid. And then I saw you. I'm like, oh my gosh, you look like a ghost.
Wow.
Yeah. After that surgery, you look like a ghost. And then I think you had another one right after that.
I did the pelvis surgery with the screw.
That one. That one. Because Baba and Nona were here. You absolutely look like a ghost. She was so scared. Honestly, she was terrified because you didn't look like you were alive. Like you barely could do anything. You didn't eat anything. She was so scared. Yeah, I think that was the worst.
I don't remember that. Like, I don't remember any of that. That's why when you say, yeah, Mom, you looked really sick or you scared me. And I'm just like, I was in bed. Like, I didn't think of anything that, what you were going through. So how were you feeling at that point when you realized what was going on?
Well, I mean, surgeries are always scary. It was kind of worse with these surgeries though, because they were just kind of thrown upon me. I'm like, I think I got called in school like 3 times. Your mom's going into surgery. I'm like, okay. And like, no, but nobody told me nothing. I knew nothing until like these surprise surgeries they had, because I mean, they scheduled them really quickly. So I'm like, okay, I hope she's okay. I hope she makes it through. I don't know. I haven't seen her in like 2 weeks. That was the worst thing is when you went into surgery, I was not able to see you, and I had no idea like if you would even make it through surgeries. Like I had no idea. I had no idea how like severe these surgeries were. Like I said, I talked to no doctors, no nothing. Like I knew nothing.
So how did it feel, Grace, when all of a sudden you comprehended, yeah, Mom has stage 4 cancer?
At first it wasn't too bad, and then I found out it was multiple spots. And that's when I got a little bit more scared because I'm like, one spot, okay, that's a little bit more, you could deal with that a little bit. That's something you can treat. That's something where it's not too bad, but it's just like, because they first found one spot.
Mhm.
But it was after they found the other ones, I'm like, oh, okay, so this is a lot more intricate than we thought. This is a lot more complicated. I'm like, oh, that's great. Love that. But honestly, I think it was really hard when I finally started comprehending it. But I kind of like comprehended it in like sections almost. So like the ones on like your pelvis and your rib and your back, like those I started to like notice more like when you went to radiation.
Mhm.
And then when you did the surgery, I'm like, okay, so the one she has one in her pelvis. Like it was more like they came like almost in sections of like me noticing that you had like this cancer. Of course, like when you couldn't walk anymore, like that was a big telltale sign. But with the
Mhm.
others, it was almost like the emotions kind of came in like clusters in a way, if that makes any sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what were these emotions like in these clusters?
um, I think at first the uncertainty was absolutely terrible. And I think it was worse because I started with that uncertainty. Like I had no idea what was going on in the beginning, and then I was told nothing, and then there was these surgeries, and then just you can't walk, and I'm like, okay, what just happened? And I wasn't able to really talk to anyone about it because nobody really knew what was going on. I mean, like even like the doctors, like you got your results like barely ever because it just they didn't even know, which is why you're in the hospital so long. But it was hard, but it was the hardest because I didn't really know anything. And then when I started to know things, it was difficult because I didn't have details and I didn't really understand like severity or anything like that. Like I said, I talked to no one during that time. So it really was just like, oh, she has cancer. I'm like, okay, what does that even mean? Because there's like, there's layers to it. There's some more common cancers and there's more, like there's a breast cancer awareness month, like things like that. There's more cancers like that. I'm like, what kind of cancer is this and what does that mean?
Right. Right. That's very hard. So as we're wrapping this up, I really want to, first of all, we were on the Jennifer Hudson show and you explained your story, and here's a clip of it.
Okay, guys, tell me what's your names and where you're from.
My name is True Istina, and I'm from Sherman Oaks.
Nice to meet you. And you are?
I am Amie Jelich, and I am her mom, also from Sherman Oaks.
Aw. Well, thank y'all for coming to join us today. Did you have a good time?
Oh, amazing. It was incredible. We
I
had
love that.
Such a wonderful time.
I'm so happy to hear that.
And she is my rock.
She is your rock.
Yes.
You want to tell us why she's your rock?
You want to tell him?
Never really easy, but my mom has stage 4 thyroid cancer. Diagnosed. Oh, I'm gonna cry. Oh, I don't cry. And diagnosed last year, and it's been an up and down. We're doing this for a third time. She took a day off of radiation, and it's a battle for sure. It's not easy, but she supported me through everything, and I love music. I'm a singer-songwriter, so she's supported me through all of it, so I'm here to support her.
That is so beautiful. And we're so grateful for you, Amie, and your beautiful daughter.
Thank you.
Y'all give them a hand. Aren't they awesome?
Thank you.
Oh, my goodness. Well, since I want to leave you guys on a high note, and you both are here, I think it's an extra special day that you chose to spend your day and your time with us. And I think it's so amazing that you support your mother the way you do and that you are here. It is a blessing to have you here. And we want to continue to celebrate you. Is that all right?
Yes.
All right. All right. You two are so strong. And I know you both love Mariah Carey, and she's on tour right now. So, well, I think you two deserve to enjoy an unforgettable evening together. So I'm giving you guys 2 tickets to see Mariah Carey live. And I hope it lifts your spirits and your spirit. And I hope it inspires you. Y'all be blessed. You stay encouraged. You stay encouraged. And you hold on to your mama. You hear that? Give him a hand, guys. Oh, my God. This is what it's about. Oh, God. God bless you.
And now I want to just go back with that emotion, because you really shared your emotions on that. So what would you say to anybody dealing with the same thing your mom has, or any kind of illness, and your child just trying to get through day to day? What advice can you give?
So going through this for as long as I have since the beginning and kind of seeing it all play out, as much as people would tell you like to have hope and stuff like that, yes, that's important. But also just like don't think about as much like she's getting better, she's getting worse, they're getting better, they're getting worse. More just enjoy the time when they're able to walk around, when you're able to go do stuff with them, because the actual like up and down of knowing results or numbers or the cancer's gone down or shrunk or anything like that's kind of worse, because it goes up and down and it kind of it kills you. You go on a roller coaster ride. So as much as people say like, have hope when it gets better, celebrate it. Yes, but at the same time, more focus on the moments you're able to have if it goes down. Enjoy those moments, experience those things more than, just thinking about the numbers or thinking about, oh, it goes up, it goes down, that type of thing. Because it'll take you on an emotional roller coaster. One minute you'll think you're doing great and things are getting better, and the next minute, it could get worse. And that's really hard to deal with. And it's really emotionally destabilizing, honestly. So it's better just to enjoy the moments and really, really have these precious moments with the people you love, honestly, because that's what matters most.
Yeah. And we've done that. We've grabbed those moments. We've gotten closer. Like I was saying, it's been actually really kind of a blessing in disguise in that way, because I'm so grateful. And I'm so grateful you've handled it with such grace, as your name, but how you handle with grace, how you have just been a rock in this. Literally, it's what I even said on the Hudson show, how much you are a rock. You've helped me through this. You've helped me to go through these things. You've given me food when I needed it. You've put me to bed when I needed it. You have helped me. You've been my caregiver to help me through this. And yes, we had other people, but then day-to-day tasks, you've been here. And I'm really grateful for you. And I love you so much.
Thank you. Well, that's all I could do, honestly. I can't take your pain away. So the next best thing was to help you to, navigate it, honestly.
Yeah, that's what you did. So I love you. Thank you for joining me on my podcast. I really wanted to get your perspective on this to help people in their journey. So I really, really appreciate it. And I'm going to have you back as a singer-songwriter that you are. And we're going to talk about that. Go to True_Istina, ISTINA.musicofficial on Instagram. And on TikTok, go check that out. Check out her music. She's got new music coming up. And as soon as that's coming released, we will get her back on. We will talk about her new music. And it is going to be awesome because I love it. And it keeps me happy and alive. And I love seeing you fulfill your dreams. So no matter what happens to me, I want it for you because I love you so much. So, all right. Thank you everyone for joining us on this vodcast. Let me know if you have any questions, post down below, or if you want to know anything else about the cancer journey, or you want to ask my children anything that may help you or your children, please let me know. We would love to help you in your journey. Have a beautiful, blessed day, and we will see you next week. Bye.
Don't need you. Tell me what I can and can't do. I'm in charge of what I feel. It's just a game I play for